Hey everybody, this is Alexandra from Mama and Ruse, and today I want to show you the brand new Onbuhimo Pro. So we have had the Onbuhimo Wasteless Baby Carrier here at Mama and Ruse from Lenny Lamb since close to when we opened the store in 2019. It's been very popular ever since. It's a great carrier because it has no waistband, and you can kind of see that in this illustration here. And today I'm going to show you what was changed, and I'm kind of do an unboxing of the Pro, and I'm going to do another video with kind of a tutorial to show you the differences, but I wanted to kind of lay that out and have you see it. So this is how they come. They come in this mesh bag with this tag. This is the card, well, this is the white sticker of truth. So if you ever, this is definitely really important to save, either take a picture of your phone when you get it. But this is definitely great to save. I'm going to show you another fun thing though, that you don't have to do that. You'll see the size is marked, the grade. We always purchase first quality. And this is new. So it looks like they are now an ISO 9001 certified facility, which just means that their factory has, meets certain guidelines for performance and then for how they do things and efficiency. So that's pretty cool. This is peanut butter. Looks like a little fuzzy there. This is the color peanut butter. Again, looks really nice, the same as we've always had, same as they were used to. And I'm going to show you the older version also kind of next to it, and we'll see how that goes. I put this ruler here so you can kind of get an idea of the size. This is the standard size. And so it's hard to see, but we can compare the size of the panels too. So one thing that I notice here right away, we have the hood that is detachable. So this is something that I know a lot of you have been asking for. So they will come with hoods as they have, but they are removable. So that's really nice. And you can see these little fabric tags to help with that. I'll put that back on. There's some elasticity to this to help to kind of stretch over. That's one of the things that, when we have a carrier that is really best for arms out, it can be a real challenge to have a hood that works with that, right? Because your baby's, armpits or whatever, right, are about here. And then, if you want that neck support for a sleepy baby, you want a bigger hood. So this is bigger, but with a little bit of a stretch. So I think that's going to be really nice. And we'll see how it looks on our demo doll in the next video. These snaps are for using with a hood and reach straps. So I'll show you that. I'm sorry, not with hood, with suck pads and reach straps. I'll show you that in a separate video as well, how to use those. So this is the panel laid out. Two backpack style straps. These adjusters, they're one way. This is really cool. This is new. This is Circula. So I think this is a little bit more popular maybe in Europe, but Circula is something where you can scan it with your phone and you can register yourself as the first owner. You can see a lot of that information that's on that kind of white tag. I'll have to do another video to kind of show what it looks like when you scan it. It is in Polish. I can ask them if there's a way to somehow do an English version. I don't know that there is, to be honest. But that's something really cool when you can register it and see the history of your carrier. And then, if you choose to sell it later, to give it to somebody, they can also get that lot number and important information too. These are PFAs, those perfect fit adjusters. So they allow you to customize that fit on your shoulder, a really nice option. And they change the direction of how these adjust to make it a little bit easier for back carrying. And this one-way adjuster, very similar there. The sternum strap here also moves, and it's a little bit of a different design, so I'm going to show you that too. It looks like we've got here, it's webbing with some extra reinforcement around here, and then the buckle. So and that can slide off. Can't remove it completely, of course, but you wouldn't want to do that in this style. This is a style that does across. To put baby in, of course, we put baby in, use that flap. Oh, and we've still got, so we don't have the height adjuster in this size. I'm going to show you in the preschool what we do or don't have, but we do have the width adjustment like that. So to kind of compare it, this is the old style standard, and we will have we've got some extra demos now because we've got a lot of new versions of products, so we will be doing a demo sale soon. In April we usually do one because it's my birthday month. So if you are not on our email list, you should get on it. Our demo sale always sells out very quickly, and this will probably be on it. This is pretty well loved, so this will probably be a very good price. And just so you kind of see, this is the older hood style, sewn in, new style, removable. Older style, this is how we adjust. Now, I don't mind this, you know, for extra head support and that length there, but that's just, you know, it's just the difference, that kind of versus the elastic. Okay. Now, what's interesting here, and I will be curious about panel sizing. Let's see if I can show you. I might not be able to show you fully with this, but when I kind of measure this at the base, I'm getting maybe like 16-ish at the very base. When I do it on this one, again, I'm not sure how much you can see. I'm getting probably about the same. Yeah, about 16-ish there. When I do this panel height, again, these are both standard size. I don't have them lined up super tightly next to each other, so don't worry about that. This is standard, so to about the top of this casing is maybe 12.5-ish. And over here, I'm being very general in my measurements here. I will do better ones. But here, yeah, about the same, about 12.5-ish. Okay. So that's the panel size is basically the same. So if you have tried them before, and our sizing recommendations are based on our American customers and what they've told us. So we really like the standard size for children into, I mean, a lot of children are comfortable into 3T pants. If your child is already wearing 2T pants for length, maybe even 24 months, go ahead and get the toddler size. But we really find that for the most comfortable, safe fit in the toddler size, you want to start around 2T pants, and for the preschool size, 3T or even 4T. It's really big, and I'll show you that difference too. So you can see the difference in the PFAs. So this goes that direction toward the panel. This one goes down. They actually made this as a smaller change already before. They didn't kind of make a big announcement. Someone actually pointed it out to me that there were some differences. And I was like, oh, it just was part of it. They've been testing this for a while. So this is going to be easier to pull and adjust while the carrier's on you. So that's really nice. That's why they changed that direction there. You see we still have the clip to help to hold on the hood. That's the same on both. So if you don't have the reach straps, or even if you do, you can kind of tuck that there like that. So you can do the same thing on the new one. You just have the option of snapping around or snapping it to a reach strap, which I do recommend if you plan to use this for a lot of naps. It does make it easier. You could do that, leave it like that, or you could even snap it around if you wanted to for extra security. So that's the same. But you'll see this has a sternum strap adjuster for this sliding, whereas on this one, they've removed that extra piece of hardware. It's a little bit smoother and I think that's probably going to be nice in theory, because this tended to make it, this is a pretty worn in demo. This tended to make it kind of really hard to slide, especially while on you. I suspect you could probably do some adjustment with this while wearing baby, which is a nice feature. Not the end of the world, but it's a nice feature. See those nice reinforcement stitches. Another big difference is that this style has dual adjustment for under the arm, right, under that. And this has one. Again, the direction of this was made so that if you are back carrying, it should be easy to kind of pull behind you. And when I do that other tutorial, I'll demonstrate that. I think that they found in their testing that while the dual is nice, especially for going back and forth between front and back wearing, for a lot of our customers, they just felt like it was a lot of plastic, a lot of stuff kind of in their armpit to dig in, especially for different size bodies. And so ultimately, I think that Lenny Lamb decided that it would be better to have a more simplified system here, a little bit more comfortable for a more range of body types. So I think that that's going to be nice. And that's another thing that sort of they slowly introduced and didn't make a formal announcement about, that they were moving to that single one. So this has kind of been in motion for a while. And this is kind of the official announcement that is coming on April 15th. We will have the new ones officially available for sale. We have a bunch ready to sell. I'm just not allowed to sell them to you till then. So hang tight. And then the panel, as you can see, it's similar. We've got this reinforced, a little bit of padding here, but the standard size does not have a height adjustment. We do still have the simple width adjustment with the tie on both. There are probably some minor design details, kind of when I look, maybe there's a little bit of a modification of the cut a little bit. You know, we don't need some of the extra stitching because we've got this. So, you know, there's minor differences, small things, but I know this has been tested for a long time. I'm really excited, and I'm excited to put it in a demo doll for you. So that's the difference there with the two standards. This is the old, this peanut butter is the new. Now I've already taken the other sizes of this out. So I just kind of want to show you. Okay, this is the toddler size. And what I'm really curious about is, honestly, I didn't expect them to be releasing a Pro of the preschool. So I'm going to get that in a second. I actually haven't really looked at it yet. So we're going to see if it's still different. And from what I see, I think there are still differences, but we are going to check that out together. Okay, so this is, like I said, this is the toddler. And you can kind of see that size difference. I can bring my that. I know I got to lift this up a little bit for you to see a little more. Let me see if I can get it to do that without a big hullabaloo. Let's see if it stays. See my weight there to try to keep this down. Okay, let's see if that works. All right, it might not, but all right. So here is that toddler, and if we lay the standard, again, that's the Toddler Pro Onbuhimo. This is the standard Onbuhimo. You can see, so if I line that up at the top, you can kind of see that's the difference there in that sizing. So the toddler is much bigger. And like I said, we do recommend, you know, not really starting in the toddler until your little one needs it. I've got a great article on, you know, wearing your big kid and talking about the difference in sizing and why we recommend kind of starting smaller. And the reason we do is truthfully, we just want you to be comfortable. And we want your little one to be comfortable, because if you can get a comfortable fit, you can get a safe fit. And I hate to see people struggling and then really not getting safe, comfortable fits, and then either giving up on baby wearing or sort of compromising in a way that could potentially put them or their little one, you know, at risk of harm. You know, I don't want you to have back pain from these. I don't want you to have, you know, other pains and discomforts that, you know, that aren't necessary. So here we go. We'll slide that down, slide that up. So that's that webbing. Again, very similar design. It appears that they decided to, again, keep the standard and the toddler, that same design. I don't know where these fuzzies are coming from. The circular, I'm sure, is on here too. Let me find it. Yep, the circular on here too. And to adjust the panel, we've got the waistband again, which you just tie and leave there. And but no height adjustment on this one. So now, oh, and let me show you just with the tape measure. With the measuring stick. Tape measure probably be a little bit more accurate, but we'll show this. And again, I'm just kind of doing a little brief estimate here. Yeah, so it's about 17 and a half, 17 3/4, which is about what it was in the other one. And then from the top here, to about, you know, 15 and a half-ish, 15 and a quarter, 15 and a half. So that's kind of that difference in size there. Awesome. Okay, so, and that had, you know, that had the similar, you know, we didn't fully unbox it, but that had the similar markings here. Okay, so now let's take a look at the preschool, and I'll show you the preschool in comparison too. Again, I already opened this up, but it comes packaged the same way, just marked preschool. All those things are really important there. Okay, so the preschool has always been enormous, and I had tested this one when my oldest was about 4, I think, and just it was my child was just swimming in it because it's so huge, and I don't know that you can truly appreciate how big this is. I'm going to start with this measurement here for this one. You know. So it's, yeah, it says 23 and a quarter. So this was like 17, and that's, you know, with me not really pushing it out, you know, probably be, yeah, 23 3/4, maybe even a little bit more. That's huge. You know, we had, you know, that 17 3/4 to 23, it's what, 18, 19, 20, 22, 23. I mean, 6 more inches there. That's huge. Remember, little ones do not grow as fast after about a year old, and then especially after 2, they really do grow much slower. That's just, you know, kind of how that is. And then so we look at the top. That's about 17 there. about a little bit more. I can't remember what that one was, but definitely a really big carrier, especially here where it matters, of course, because here that leg length is what's going to really determine that comfort. Okay, again, it's very similar way of putting this on, right? We put that on. Now, with depending how big your big kid is, you can, and I have seen and helped people with, have your child stand and step into this carrier. Okay, that's how big it is. That's how big of a child can use this. I just really want to emphasize that. Okay, yes, so this is that preschool size. So it looks like they did the same thing here. I don't have the older preschool with me, unfortunately. I kind of assumed it would be more similar to the current, but it actually does have some similar changes. The current one does have the single adjustment. I believe it's going the same direction. I can't be sure, but I believe so. It actually looks like it needs to be tucked there. Easy fix, which is nice. It does have the PFAs, and I believe this is going this direction, although I'd be curious to see. I might have to pull that one out and do a separate video if I find a lot of differences. But you can see this PFAs there, nice and big. What this does is it moves where the padding sits up on your shoulder, and so it just makes it really versatile for a lot of different caregivers. I really, really love having a PFA. That being said, it is simpler without it. So for some people who feel overwhelmed, it's one more adjustment, right? But I think for an Onbuhimo, there's already so many things you kind of give up in terms of comfort just to have that waistless style that I think it's really helpful. Okay, so we've got this. Like I said, this is a reinforced webbing that moves up and down. Cannot be removed, of course, because this does not come apart. This is not a cross strap friendly carrier. I don't think it could be. The circular, again, right here, you would just scan that and you could register your carrier. Really awesome. In the unlikely event of a recall or anything like that, but also just if something, I don't know, things happen. It's much easier for us to help you if we can figure out what lot number something is if there's a problem, right? So it's a really great thing to do. Now, the difference here, apart from the fact that it's much, much larger, we have this, of course, that still adjusts that. So you can make this pretty small, okay? That doesn't necessarily mean your smaller child's going to be comfortable because all this fabric has to go somewhere. So just keep that in mind. And I can always link you that Big Kid video, Big Kid article. I think that does really help explain our feelings on that. It's got a little bit more padding here for those legs, which I think is really helpful. Again, if we kind of look here, so this is that smaller size. You'll see this has some reinforcement at the webbing to give those bigger kid legs a little bit more stability. Now, a bigger kid does not have to be fully knee to knee to be comfortable. They can be mid-thigh to mid-thigh. This is something that allows that to be a little bit more comfortable when it's not fully knee to knee. So I think it's a really nice addition. I don't think this is on the current preschool Onbuhimo. So I think that's really nice in the Pro. Again, a little bit more padding, bigger legs. I'm not necessarily going to knee. It's really going to help. Now this here is actually a casing to adjust the height. I think that's really helpful. I think that's what makes the preschool Onbuhimo really useful, and how they'd be able to make it so large, because this can really help bring it down to the sizing that you need. So that's really great there. And then of course, the current version does also have a removable hood. But this one also has it. And I feel like the elastic on this is a little bit looser than the current. So maybe even a little bit bigger based on the casing. So I wonder if that, how that kind of changes how it feels on you. It's just my observation. That may or may not be true, but that's kind of what I see. And then if you want to see these kind of piled up onto each other. Again, you're not gonna be able to get the full view because I can't get it up high enough, but I will be doing another video with the dolls and you can see. So that's that preschool down there. If I take the toddler and line it up with the top, again, this is just a, yeah, I think that like even the cut at the top is a little bit different to kind of accommodate the different sizes, which is great. This, it's what it's supposed to do, right? So we've got that up there, just about. And then the standard. I just can't impress upon you enough how big the preschool is. Some people ask about putting teeny tiny children in a preschool size, like 6-month-old children. I just can't say that is something I recommend. I won't stop somebody from trying, but I just can't recommend a 6-month-old in a preschool carrier. I just can't do it. So here There we go there. That kind of shows you that difference. It's a pretty dramatic difference in sizes. So I hope that that helps there. I think these are really exciting, and I'm going to do another video about, yeah, putting them on, and you can see what you think then. Thanks so much.